Hi, this is Nicholas Wilton, and I wanted to talk to you about this other aspect of, that I kind of was thinking about this morning when I was painting, and it has to do with control and lack of control, actually, kind of both. You know, many people who have taken my workshops and classes and follow my blog know that what I'm often kind of overarching idea behind everything has to do with differences. It's what makes things interesting. If you have something really bright, you put something really dull next to it. If you have something really large, you put something really small to it. Dark against light, it's really interesting. And that's how we kind of, that's what makes art fascinating, what draws people to it. But one of the areas that I've seen people have a lot of trouble with is this one of control and out of control. So what I've just, a perfect example of this is if you're working on your painting and or any kind of art, but an accident happens. For me, it's always when I'm painting and I've got a big pile of paint, or I've got it in like a coffee can, a bunch of black paint, and I'm making marks on the painting, and drips fall, and they just happen to fall in the painting, and it's like, oh shit, But then you look down and you see that the drips actually fell in like this really, they always look good for some reason. I mean, not always, but a lot of times those drips, those accidental things that happen on the way to whatever you were trying to do, sometimes and often are the best part. And I used to always wonder like why that is. And I've come to the realization that this, having a level of out of control that happens when you're taking risks in your work, when you're trying something you haven't done before, it kind of provides this really beautiful unconscious kind of quality and depth, frankly, and mystery. If we know how to do everything perfectly, and we draw, keep the paint in the lines, or we are really careful, and sometimes that has so much to do with like our intention, our left brain. We're really trying to make something happen. But then when it all goes to hell, then sometimes that's super fresh and can be really like energize the work totally. It's the combination of trying to be careful, perhaps, with something that is not being careful. And for myself, and one area I teach is that I believe that you want to allow your work to kind of make itself. We want to have a lot of this in the work. I like to think of, having 50% of my art be made kind of by accident. And that doesn't mean you don't have any control, you do. So for example, so this is an old painting that I got back, and I'm kind of working on it again, and it was really old, meaning, it was about 7 years ago, and I was being really careful, and these shapes and everything, and now I just threw a bunch of paint on it, and I took this tool, this is a big scraper, and I just scraped it, and it's not done yet, but there's something about losing control and the accidents that can happen that can make the work feel really rich. A lot of times I will paint a shape, or I'll paint on this, and then I control it with a brush, but then I'll use a trowel and I'll kind of take this, and this tool actually removes my hand out of it. I can't totally see what I'm doing, and I can just smooth it on, but it ends up modifying the shape, and I swear 90% of the time that shape's better. I'll paint on the back of paper, and I'll paint on this, and then I'll take this and I'll apply it onto the painting and peel it off to create a shape, and I can't totally control where that goes. It's a little like taking, it's like holding the paintbrush or holding the drawing tool far at the end and closing one eye and just kind of drawing. Not knowing and just going more on your intuition allows your soul to enter the work and provides a kind of freshness and a spontaneity, and usually the mark that you make where you're not trying so hard, the accidental marks even, create the strongest part of the painting. So it's just something that I wanted to share with you, something that I've been working on and thinking a lot about in the studio, and I thought I would just offer that up as a possible reminder for you to bring some of that into your work. So thanks so much.